Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to all of you. If this is your first time here, I'm truly glad you found your way to this space. This channel is dedicated to exploring love, life, spiritual insight, and the unseen energies that guide our connections. I hope you are doing well wherever you are listening from. Today, we are going to tune into the energy surrounding you and the person who's been on your mind. Let's begin by pulling a few oracle cards before moving into the tarot to see what spirit wants you to understand at this present moment. The first message coming through is very reassuring. The hardest part is behind you. If there has been tension, emotional struggle, confusion, or heaviness connected to this situation, the energy shows that chapter is closing. What you have been carrying no longer needs to come with you. There is a strong sense of release here, letting go of old emotional weight, outdated fears, and lower vibrations. What's past is truly being left in the past. Another theme emerging is distance. I'm sensing that the person you are thinking about has been dealing with their own inner challenges. Instead of opening up and allowing you into that process, they choose withdrawal. Rather than leaning on you for support, they pulled inward, retreating emotionally, energetically, or even physically. This may have shown up as unanswered messages, silence, or a feeling that they are no longer present in your life the way they once were. Even if you are still connected on some level, their energy feels far away, and you can feel that very clearly. At the same time, the card of depth is making itself known. This connection is not surface level. There are profound emotions here on both sides. You are both old souls, but you process things very differently. You tend to want to talk things through. You believe in communication, clarity, and working through challenges together. Your person, however, seems to have learned a very different coping mechanism early in their life. There is an indication that they were taught consciously or unconsciously that relying on others isn't safe. So when life gets heavy, their instinct is to shut down, go quiet, and handle everything alone. This difference in emotional language has created the gap you are feeling right now, not because the feelings aren't there, but because they don't yet know how to let someone stand beside them in their vulnerability. What I'm sensing here is that when this person is going through something heavy emotionally, their instinct is not to reach out, it's to withdraw. Somewhere in their past, they absorbed the belief that their struggles were a burden to other people, that their emotions weren't welcome, that no one really wanted to hear what they were carrying inside, and because of that, they learned to internalize everything, to stay quiet, to step back and deal with their pain alone. Instead of expressing vulnerability, they retreat inward and shut the door, even on the people who care about them most. I'm actually noticing how difficult it feels to articulate this, and that feels very symbolic. It mirrors their energy, the hesitation, the suppression, the things left unsaid. There is so much depth in this connection. You are both old souls, both highly sensitive, both capable of feeling very deeply, but you process those feelings in opposite ways. You tend to open up, to communicate, to work through emotions together. They, on the other hand, protect themselves by pulling away. There may even be physical distance between you, but what feels strongest is the emotional gap, a disconnect that wasn't created intentionally. It feels like an act of self preservation, a barrier they put up to survive moments when they don't feel like their best self. I'm hearing something very clearly. They can't see me like this. They don't want you to witness them when they feel broken, low, or overwhelmed. There is a perfectionist energy here, a belief that they must only show strength, confidence, and control. Vulnerability feels unsafe to them. Another message coming through is a promise, an inner one. There is a sense of, I'm working on fixing this. This person is thoughtful and emotionally intelligent. They reflect deeply. They know that space is needed right now, and they believe handling this alone is the right thing to do. What they haven't fully realized yet is that this pattern, shutting down instead of reaching out, isn't actually helping them. They don't yet see how isolating this behavior has become or how it affects the people who love them. And then there is one message that comes through very clearly and very strongly. It's you. They want you to know that even if there is distance, even if there's silence, they still feel you. They still care deeply about you. Their feelings haven't faded. Despite everything, love is still present here. They haven't let go of you, even if they have pulled away. What's coming through very clearly is that this person may not fully realize how much their behavior is affecting you or even the connection itself. They don't consciously see that their withdrawal is creating pain, distance, or strain within the bond you share. Energetically, I see them folding inward. It's as if they are curling into themselves, instinctively trying to shield their heart. There is a strong protective energy around their heart chakra, like an invisible barrier they have placed there. This doesn't feel directed at you. Instead, it feels like a response to life as a whole. I'm hearing something that feels like a quiet plea. I can't take anymore, not spoken outwardly, but felt deeply inside. They are exhausted on an emotional level. It feels like they have reached a limit when it comes to disappointment, grief, or emotional pain. There is a sense that their heart has been hurt repeatedly over time, and now their nervous system is in defense mode. This points very strongly to unresolved childhood wounds, moments where they learned that it was safer to close off than to be vulnerable. When it comes to this connection, they are avoiding it rather than facing it directly. I'm seeing the image of someone burying their head in the sand, not out of indifference but out of overwhelm. It's easier for them to distract themselves than to sit with feelings that feel too big. Work and productivity stand out as major distractions. They may be pouring excessive energy into their career or daily responsibilities, convincing themselves that these things are more important than they actually are. Part of this is because work gives them a sense of self control, structure, and self worth, something that feels safer than emotional intimacy right now. At the same time, there is awareness. On some level, they know something needs to change. They recognize that the way they are coping isn't sustainable. I'm sensing a genuine desire to find answers, to fix what feels broken inside, to break unhealthy cycles, to learn new ways of being. They may not have the tools yet, they may not know how to do it, but the willingness is there, and that matters. This isn't someone who's given up, it's someone who's overwhelmed, guarded, and still learning how to feel safe enough to open their heart again. What I'm sensing is that so far, nothing this person has tried has truly helped them break through. They have been searching for answers, for solutions, for something that works, but nothing has quite fit. It feels as though there is one central truth, one key that has the power to unlock everything at once: their hurt, their pain, their unresolved wounds, and that key hasn't been turned yet. What's coming through very strongly is that something is about to surface. There is a sense of revelation here, as if a hidden layer is ready to be exposed. This doesn't necessarily mean a dramatic secret, but rather a truth they have been keeping to themselves. It could be something about their behavior, their emotional state, or a part of themselves they felt ashamed to show you. If this resonates, you already know about this. You felt it, you sensed there was something they weren't fully sharing. For others, this may be something that comes to light soon. I'm hearing timing connected to the next few days or weeks, even the next lunar cycle. When this truth is revealed, it brings clarity, not chaos, but understanding. And what I want to say very clearly is this person misses you a lot. I wouldn't say that unless the energy was undeniable. I see deep longing here. I see tears, a sense of grief, a wish that things had unfolded differently. Some of them may already be grieving something else in their life, the loss of a loved one, a pet, or even the loss of the version of themselves they used to be. They feel lost right now, like a soul that's wandered too far from home. There is a heavy sense of regret here. They feel as though they have taken the wrong path, made irreversible mistakes, and damaged something precious beyond repair. In their mind, it can feel like there is no way back, like they have gone too far down a road they can't undo. But that belief is part of the pain, not the entire truth. This is someone standing at a crossroads, overwhelmed by the weight of their own choices, yet still deeply connected to you at a soul level. The love hasn't disappeared, the bond hasn't vanished. They are just struggling to forgive themselves and to believe it's not too late. What I'm getting very clearly is that this belief that things are beyond repair isn't actually the truth, it's their perception, and that distinction matters. On your side, the energy feels unsettled. It's like you are standing in two worlds at once, one foot in, one foot out. You don't feel grounded in where you stand with this person, even though they are distant. The energetic connection hasn't gone anywhere. You still feel them, you still sense the love. They show up in your dreams. You notice signs, reminders, synchronicities, and maybe every now and then they check in just enough to keep the connection alive. But it is inconsistent, and that's what's so difficult for you. You are not fully in a relationship, but you are not fully free of it either. Your emotional needs aren't being met, or at least not in the way your heart requires, and because of that, you find yourselves sitting on the fence. You know a decision needs to be made, yet your energy keeps shifting. One day you feel resolved, the next day doubt creeps back in. There is a deep part of you that wants them to fix this, to step forward and save what exists between you. There is a quiet plea in your heart that says, please don't abandon me, don't abandon us. You can see the potential here so clearly, and you long for it to be realized. What you truly want is for them to show up fully, confidently, without any hesitation, to pursue you in a way that leaves no uncertainty, to make it undeniable how they feel. But that's the painful truth you are sitting with. Your heart yearns for something you haven't actually seen them do. And that's where the inner conflict lies. Your mind understands that they are not showing up in the way you deserve. It recognizes the lack of consistency, the absence of reassurance, the unmet needs, but your heart is still attached. It still longs, it still wants to nurture the bond, to invest, to believe in what this connection could become. You are torn between what you feel and what you know, and that tug of war within you isn't weakness, it's love meeting self respect. It's the space where a soul is deciding whether to keep hoping or finally choose itself. I'm seeing strong Pisces energy coming through here, with Aquarius, Libra, and Cancer also highlighted. If those signs resonate with you or with the person on your mind, take that as confirmation rather than limitation. This is about energy more than astrology. One thing that's coming through very clearly is this person does love you, and that's what makes this so emotionally complicated for you. Their energy is constantly tugging at your heart, even in silence, not because they are trying to manipulate you or play games with you, but because the bond itself is active. No matter what choices they have made, no matter how far they may feel they have drifted from their highest path, the love hasn't disappeared. You are a light in their life. In many ways, you are the brightest thing they can see right now. At the same time, I'm sensing that they are very deeply immersed in their shadow self. It feels like they have entered a dark internal space, one that may involve mental health struggles, emotional overwhelm, or a loss of direction. When they look at you, they see contrast. They see someone who appears to be growing, moving forward, building, and thriving. Whether that's fully accurate or partly their perception, the truth is you are aligned with your values. You know what matters to you. You know what kind of life and love you want to build. And yes, you want to build it with them. But you also know this: if they cannot show up, if they cannot meet you in the physical world with presence and consistency, then eventually you will have to let go. Not because you don't love them, but because you must honor yourself. This person carries old soul energy. The connection between you feels long standing, possibly stretching back to youth, shared history, or even past life resonance. For some of you, there may be children involved. For others, this feels like the great love of your life, the kind of connection that redefines what love even means. I'm hearing nothing else compares. There may be other people in their orbit, others who give them attention, validation, distraction, but energetically, you stand alone. You are the one they measure everything against, the one their heart returns to, even when their actions don't yet match that truth. This isn't a shallow bond, it's a soul level attachment, one that hasn't been replaced, even in absence, and that's why this situation feels so intense, because love is still there, even while alignment is still catching up. The message coming through is very clearly: for them, there is no comparison. No one else truly reaches them the way you do. Other connections don't leave a mark, they don't even come close. You are the one who matters, the one who actually touches their soul. They feel deeply grateful to receive your love. At the same time, there is a painful awareness within them that they don't currently have the capacity to give back in the way you deserve. They don't feel able to love you fully, to show up consistently, or to meet the standards of partnership you have clearly expressed. And in a strange way, that awareness is honest. They have heard you, they have been clear, you have communicated your needs and what you want from a relationship. They have taken that in, and when they look inside themselves, they don't find what's required. That's devastating for both of you. From your side, the feeling is equally strong. If you truly loved me, you would rise to meet me. If this mattered the way you say it does, you would find a way. That's the truth of your heart. But what keeps coming through is disconnection, not a lack of love, a lack of alignment. This doesn't feel like a player or someone who doesn't care. It feels like someone who is lost, someone who has drifted away from their true self and doesn't know how to return yet. This is an energetic snapshot, not a final verdict. Right now, they are not fully embodied. Spiritually and emotionally, they are out of sync. It's as if they have stepped outside themselves because their nervous system simply can't hold everything they are experiencing right now. Grief, overwhelm, a dark night of the soul, a spiritual awakening they didn't ask for but can't even avoid. Strong Leo and Scorpio energy is showing up here. Intense, transformative, deeply emotional. This is heavy, potent energy, and yes, it's very powerful. They want a fresh start with you. That desire is genuine. They know they mishandled this connection. There is a deep self blame here, confusion, regret, even disbelief at their own behavior. Why did I pull away so hard? Why did I do this? That's echoing loudly in their energy. Part of them wishes you could simply erase the past and start over because that feels easier than fully facing the damage, the fear, and the healing that's required. But the truth is, this connection isn't shallow enough for shortcuts. What's here is real love meeting deep inner fracture, and until they reconnect with themselves, they don't yet know how to fully reach you. even though their heart wants to. What's coming through very honestly is that right now they are avoiding the hardest part, the deep, uncomfortable work, the kind that requires full accountability, the kind that means sitting with the pain they caused, acknowledging how their actions affected you, and having the courage to talk about it openly. They do know they hurt you. That awareness is there, and despite everything, the energetic bond between you hasn't been broken. I keep seeing this image of a red thread connecting your heart to theirs, a soul tie that remains intact. Spiritually, you are still connected. In their energy, there is no one else, and on your end, it feels like your heart hasn't chosen anyone else either, not because you couldn't, but because your soul hasn't wanted to. They want a fresh beginning. They want to say, I'm sorry. They want reunion. They want union. I see them beginning a long inner journey, one that leads them back toward you, toward truth, toward responsibility, toward home, and for them, home is you. But here is the most important guidance coming through for you. Do not pause your life waiting for them to figure themselves out. You are not meant to sit in limbo while they process their darkness, their healing, or their awakening. You are meant to keep living, keep growing, keep choosing yourself. If and when they return, it must be from a place of wholeness, not dependence. What feels encouraging here is that even in their lowest moments, there is a strong internal pull within them to realign, to do better, to find their way back. That intention matters. It is a sign of awakening, not avoidance. Sometimes, when I read this energy, the person isn't even thinking about change, but here, even within the shadow, there is longing, there is regret, there is movement, and that's very meaningful. So, these are the messages meant for you today. Thank you for allowing me to tune into your energy and share this space with you. If this reading resonated, feel free to drop a heart in the comment section to claim the energy. I'm sending you so much love, light, and gentle strength. Take care of yourself, and I'll reconnect with you again very soon in the next reading. Thank you so much for today.